Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Dan Jurgens, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a giant freaking electric mullet. Welcome back to another episode of Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, he's up in the top corner. All right, Booster Biscuit himself. It is.
Justin the Owl swooping back into Metropolis.
You could have made Biscuit Gold work. All right, and Superman's number one fan. It is from his 14th solid.
Hey guys, it's Tyler. I was just thinking Justin the Owl, the Booster, the Owl of Gold.
The Owl of Gold.
I think it's Biscuit Gold. All right, because yes, today we are talking a two-parter from Action Comics 594, and then jumps to Booster Gold number 23.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So you guys like this era of Booster Gold, or I mean, they kind of tame him down later, especially when he becomes friends with Blue Beetle.
I don't know, like he doesn't seem. I don't mind him.
A little too arrogant at this point.
I don't mind the arrogance, but like, Booster Gold Industries, like
I liked that though because it was different. Like there wasn't really anything like that at the time, like a corporate superhero.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So to me, I love that original Booster Gold series. That's really one of my favorites.
How dare you? There was no rich superheroes at this point.
Batman, my favorite character.
Well, yeah, but no one knew.
Strike Ray across the face while you're at it.
Yeah, but he had a secret identity. Booster Gold didn't.
True.
He was just a dude. Yeah.
I know.
So,
Well, the secret identity. Well, I don't. Did people know he was from the future? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
College.
I think it was eventually revealed in that first series. Yeah. Maybe towards the end of it. I don't know. I gotta go back and reread that. It's been a while. But yeah, it definitely wasn't a perfect series. It definitely had some ups and downs. But this particular story was fun. I liked this one a lot.
Yeah. All right. Should we jump into this?
Yeah.
All right. That's right. Because I forgot. Yeah, we have an opening scene here. All right. Action Comics 594 from November 1987. All That Glitters. And of course, writer, penciler, and one of your inkers, John Byrne. The other inker, Keith Williams, colorist Tom Zayuko, letterer John Costanza, and editors Mike Carlin and Andrew Helfer. In Gotham City, here we go, Ray. In Gotham City, the bat signal shines in the night sky.
Batman, my favorite character.
And Robin swing through the city towards the Sprang building, where Batman,
my favorite character,
hypothesizes is the source of the bat signal. Batman tells Robin that the angle of the signal was wrong for it to be coming from the roof of police headquarters. Batman and Robin arrive on the rooftop and find the signal, which is actually a miniaturized version. Robin asks Batman which of his enemies could have made it, to which he replies that any one of them could have, but this wasn't made by an enemy. Superman flies down and lands on the roof and tells Batman that he was right. He asks Batman why he brought Robin, since it could have been dangerous for him to come here. Batman explains that he doesn't mind putting child orphans in danger. No, that's not what it says. Batman explains that when they last met, Batman needed Superman's help with that last case because it was beyond any of his mortal abilities. The Vampire Action Comics Annual 1, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll down. And since there isn't anything that Superman's powers can't handle, he'd only be calling Batman because he needed detective work or large amounts of cash. Superman, impressed at Batman's astute observations, hands him the reason why he summoned Batman there: a scrapbook of paper stock, fingerprints, and newspaper clippings about Superman. Superman explains that Batman has the knowledge needed to decode such things as fingerprints and paper stock, and he doesn't. Batman takes the book and tells Superman that he'll do what he can, and that they're to meet at that same spot again in 3 days. Robin asks for keep an eye on that scrapbook, kid. That thing's gonna make the rounds for the next year or two. Robin asks for Superman's autograph, and Superman gives him it by carving his name into a piece of edging material. As Superman flies off, Batman congratulates him on the next day, which will be Superman Day in Metropolis.
It's my favorite day of the year.
I know it is. So yes, that lucky young Jason Todd got that autograph, and nothing will ever hit nothing, and his life went completely fine from that point forward.
It did. It was all good in the hood, or was it all good under the hood?
I'm sorry, I just needed to crowbar that joke in. Boom! Right. In Metropolis, the next day, Trixie Collins walks through the crowds of people, reflecting on how Booster Gold was trapped in an alien dimension when she sees a sign nailed to a wall, apparently from Booster Gold himself. It bears Superman's S symbol with a line through it, and it reads, "We don't need another hero." Trixie wonders why Booster would do such a thing, because it's excessive even for him, even though he and the Man of Steel have never been on the best of terms. Suddenly, she sees Booster Gold flying through the skies of Metropolis, just overhead. Trixie, shocked that he's come back without telling her, rushes after him, calling his name. Booster flies into the park and blasts his lasers at a Superman statue, blasting it to smithereens. In the Daily Planet, Lois Lane complains to Perry White because he's assigned her to a press conference that Booster Gold is holding. Reluctantly, Lois leaves. At the conference, Booster declares that everyone there that they have a serious matter to discuss: Superman and his crimes against humanity. Booster recalls when Superman invaded Quark several weeks ago. Lois calls Booster out and tells him that Superman acts out of altruism, while Booster sells his services. Booster calls Lois and the Daily Planet biased, but Lois stands by her opinion and tells Booster that the Reagan administration stated that they were prepared to back Superman if needed.
Mr. Gold, tear down this wall.
Nice. All right, ready for this Captain America joke? Reagan, that snake in the grass. Captain America 344 to get you on a joke, kids. At the mayor's office, several figureheads in Metropolis gather and discuss Booster Gold. The mayor's present, and his wife and daughter, Juliana, arrive. Booster Gold also arrives, and the mayor rebukes him and questions his reasoning behind his recent attacks on Superman. Booster grabs Juliana and flies off, planning to use her to lure Superman into the open. Booster touches down on a rooftop with Juliana and begins hurting her so she'll scream loud enough for Superman to hear. Superman hears and rushes off in the direction of the scream. Booster prepares to hit Juliana again, but Superman grabs his shoulder and tosses him away. He helps Juliana up, but Booster punches him off of the roof and into another building. Superman flies back, and he and Booster begin flying towards each other, and Superman punches Booster and wallops Booster backwards. Booster blasts Superman with his lasers, catching the Man of Steel off guard. While he's down, Booster begins continuously punching Superman and doesn't let up. Superman, still reeling from each blow, doesn't have enough time to react. Booster then stands in the streets of Metropolis holding Superman's limp form. Suddenly, a voice calls out, and another Booster Gold flies in, calling the other one an imposter. What?
There's our cliffhanger ending, folks.
Oh yeah, and then the old to catch the conclusion of this tale. Yes, check out Booster Gold 23.
Yeah.
They're like, who?
No, the greatest hero you've never heard of.
Yeah.
Which was a great
From the
episode of
future.
Justice League.
Yeah.
Exactly. I did, and at least for our sake, I do find it funny because when Lois is complaining about covering the press conference, doesn't Perry say something like, "Oh, he's visiting his parents in Ohio" or something?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
thinking. I screenshot that and just put, "Oh, Perry."
Nice.
I loved it. I was like,
That's very cool.
That's wonderful.
No, you're thinking of that Tyler Patrick.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I kind of think they should have made Smallville in Ohio, as just an ode to Jerry and Joe. But I mean, wasn't it? And this is going to test my knowledge here. At one point, it was like in the comics, Smallville was like in upstate New York, and then eventually it moved to Kansas. I just can't. I used to know the comic that proved it, and I can't think of it right now. It's been a long day at work, fellas, but
It's okay.
Yeah, I just always thought someone was thinking farms, fields, Kansas. Yeah.
what's boring?
Yeah, that's right.
There's no place like home. That was Wizard of Oz. Where was that? Kansas.
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 Yeah. Totally. It's kind of very all-American, you know.
Is it? Is it?
No. It was back then.
I mean,
in the 30s. Yeah.
America's a weird country. That's all I want to say.
It is.
Like we could divide our country into like 4 other countries and we'd still all be weird and different.
Yeah. And it's always been that way. It's always been weird.
America. Yeah.
These damn superheroes from the future.
So I like the Batman, at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
I love that it was like basically Batman in black.
Yeah.
Gray. I was digging it because that's my favorite like look for Batman is black and gray. And then on page 3 in the bottom corner, he's blue.
Oh,
It
just doesn't.
With kind of in the background, yeah.
It's really
I worry about coloring back in the day. One of the biggest is if you go to page 5, or I'm sorry, page 8, when Lois shows up with her brunette hair out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
And then go to page 10, and she's a redhead. Yep. And that's the only time she's a redhead in this issue. And then when we see her again on page 20, she's back to being brunette. Yes. So there were some flubs. Some things happened here.
Yeah, some editorial mistakes.
Hair color's a big deal for me in comics, especially older comics.
The damn lighting in Metropolis.
Because it really helps determine who characters are.
Yeah.
Because sometimes like people will draw them and they look similar. Like if you have Clark, Dick, and Bruce standing next to each other, like sometimes you can be like, wait, who's who?
Or Steve Rogers, Hank Pym, and like the original Human Torch. Like line all 3 of them up together. Like whatever. Yeah.
So it just sometimes you just really need, that's why we have the costumes and everything. But it's like we really need like discerning characteristics, and that's why I hate that they kind of Lois is supposed to have dark hair and they made her a redhead, and then in this one they just made her brunette. Like are they like Lana Lang's supposed to be a redhead, okay? And Lois,
yeah.
All right, my rant's over. But hey, I did feel like this issue was weird in the sense of like, if you weren't reading Booster Gold, the way that Booster was introduced in this was really kind of out of left field. And you're like, wait, what? Why? What is going on?
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I mean, again, that's probably the whole point is trying to boost sales on Booster Gold. But it's well, again, I mean, in this issue, we really don't see the real booster until the last page.
But yeah, and I mean I get what they're trying to do, because I feel like this is the same type of thing that Byrne has done in other episodes we've recently read, where it's like starts off with this weird mystery, like, wait, what's going on? Wait? And then at the end, there's that like cliffhanger twist of, ta-da! It really wasn't what you thought it was.
Yeah, surprise!
Wait till the next issue where we'll reveal who it really is.
Yeah,
the cliffhanger. See, you knew Booster was a dick, but not that big dick.
No, I agree. It is kind of out of left field, especially if anybody had missed their first interaction that they referenced earlier on in this issue. If anybody had missed that, then they wouldn't know how these two characters even know each other in the first place.
Exactly.
I am shocked in this era that, I mean, they mentioned Booster and Superman's like previous encounter. They mentioned, Batman and Superman fighting the vampire. They also mentioned the Quark thing, and like no editor's notes. I'm like, really? In this era? I thought this era was editor's notes.
You'd think there would be a bunch, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, go back and get Adventures of Superman 427 or Action Comics Annual 1.
Yeah.
Like, hey, go back and buy our stuff from a while back. Yeah.
Tyler, I was surprised. Did you think like they really, because they want this ongoing thing with Batman, but Clark going, oh, I don't have the detective skills to like look into this book. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be an investigative journalist, Clark?
Yeah, I kind of was like, my thought to myself was like, is Clark just trying to like find a reason to talk to Batman? Like, like he's trying to
burn his,
like he's just like, how can I get Batman in this book? Because that was like my thought was like, maybe Clark's just trying to like, okay, maybe he's a good guy. Let's give him something to work on as a side project for me.
I guess. I mean, wouldn't it make more sense for Clark to be like, you know what? I've tried, I've come at this from a couple different angles. It's been weeks. I can't get, find out whatever I'm looking for.
He made an attempt and he can't crack it.
Now let me go to the world's greatest detective.
I mean, it's one of those things where like they often downplay Clark's skills as like an investigator or just his intelligence. And they're like, he's supposed to be extremely intelligent.
Well, they kind of downplay him, again here to make Batman look more competent. In other situations, like when him and Lois are going for the same story to make Lois look more competent and stuff.
Yep. I mean, and that's just sometimes the problem is like with the characters, they'll just be like, oh, he's gonna hang out with this character. Yeah, just make him an idiot and the other character smart.
Right.
Oh boy. We got lots of looks like Russell and Nora in the chat. Russell.
Oh.
Howdy, y'all.
Hi, Russell.
Whoa.
Howdy, y'all. When did they introduce Superman having super intelligence? Is that a more modern thing? Wasn't that like Silver Age?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was part of like his Kryptonian brain and just his like he could learn faster, read faster and everything, but he always kind of downplayed it. He was never he was never like on the level of like Lex and like all those scientists like Michael Holt and all them, but he was extremely intelligent and he just I don't know. I always often wonder like he just didn't allow himself to go there.
Well, once again, like with his powers too, I think that in this era they kind of like brought his intelligence down to like normal.
Yeah, at this era they
average.
Everything was kind of brought down. Like, all right, you can no longer go out and blow out the sun with a breath.
Cannot juggle the moon. Yes.
You would no longer have little Supermans pop out of your hand.
Wow.
You can't move planets single-handedly anymore.
You can't fly through. You can't time travel under your own power. You can't turn back the Earth to save your girlfriend.
That. Yeah.
All right. All right. What's else is? But yeah, I always like Burns' like interpretation of Batman.
Me too. Anytime he draws Batman, I'm happy about it, even if it's just a little cameo.
I do feel like it's often like you get somebody who's like doing Superman, and then they get a chance to do something with Batman. They're like really excited and really good at it. And it's like, why are you, doing this with Super? Why are you working on Superman when clearly you really want to be working on Batman?
Batman, my favorite character.
What's that noise? Here's Ray banging his head against the wall.
He knows that you're talking about him.
I know. Oh, I can play the 30th stuff. He don't care. So just don't make fun of. His love of Batman and his the addiction to Marvel Snap. Eh, Ray?
Oh, good old Marvel Snap.
Oh my! And that was just dark. I mean, especially once we find out the whole secret behind the whole Booster Gold imposter, because it's like basically kidnaps the mayor's daughter and just starts like smacking her around and stuff
on the rooftop. Yeah,
because I mean,
it was. I mean, having not read much Booster Gold here, I was like, wow, they really made Booster like a douche.
I know.
I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, was this how he? Because I haven't read much Booster Gold. I'll be honest. I've only read him when he appears in other stuff. I've never actually read his book.
I didn't read a lot of this era, but like his 2007 series, I read all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, wasn't that the New 52 one?
No, it was like right before. It was like before New 52.
Oh, that was the one right before it.
Yeah, there was a few where he would like travel back to different big points in DC history and stuff. Yeah, who's basically his secret mission was to like keep time on track and stuff. But no. Speaking of that, I think I saw JMD Mateus. I think it was posted today. It's like It's like one of the anniversaries of him and Keith Giffen's Justice League run.
Oh yes,
yeah,
that's right.
Where Booster did appear, and I believe Superman even maybe it's the Booster Gold issue where he says, "I don't know how the Justice League puts up with you."
Yeah,
right.
It is.
He does say that, yeah.
Because I was just trying to like figure out where his place is and everything right now. I was just kind of like, oh hey,
yeah, I'd forgotten that he was a member of the Justice League at this point.
Yeah, this is kind of like where he first meets Blue Beetle. Yeah. Well, again, I guess anyone looks better standing next to Guy Gardner.
It's true. It's true. Absolutely.
One punch. But yeah, I mean, the Booster imposter really roughs up the mayor's daughter. I mean, they cut back, like her glasses are like off, and it looks like her jacket's torn at the shoulder. It's like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, it is. And then when we cut back, she's in Superman's arms. She's good, except no glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be pretty good and safe if I was in Superman's arms too. So,
yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
But Superman's cape gets tore up.
Yeah,
and I'm just sitting here like, I'm just like reading this, like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, he gets beat up in this. Yeah,
and I'm like, Booster. I'm like, is there something special about Booster right now? Like, does he have kryptonite? And then the real Booster shows up, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, something's going down.
Yeah.
And this is the most weirdest looking Jimmy Olsen ever. Can we say that?
Oh, and yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
He's just very plain, normal, like random dude. And if it wasn't for she yelled Olsen earlier, I need your camera, I would have never known that was him.
Yeah. Yeah, Robin looks kind of weird too in this. Yeah. Maybe it's just the way that John Byrne draws younger guys, I guess.
It's the way he drew him, but like he doesn't have any of the Jimmy Olsen kind of look
characteristics.
Yeah.
Wait, is Jimmy in this? Because towards the end here, when Lois is running out of the newsroom, she's like, Jimmy's covering that auto show over in Baker line.
I thought that was Jimmy. Maybe I misread.
Because then she says, Gus, I need a cameraman, and you're elected.
Oh, maybe I was wrong. I take back everything I said because I read it and I thought that was Jimmy.
So yes, that is not. That is not Jimmy.
Oh, Gus. Yeah, I don't have any idea, Gus, but I know that Superman is in trouble.
I misread that.
I guess I forgot who Gus was in the first place.
Yeah, maybe I didn't realize it was Gus. Gus, he looks like a wannabe Eddie Brock before Eddie Brock was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, whatever happened to Gus?
I don't know if we ever see Gus after this. I can't remember.
I guess I just kind of my eyes saw Blast, Jimmy Olsen. You got it, Miss Lane. I need a cameraman. And you're like, I didn't realize that Gus, like, so, yeah. Well, this is what happens when you read when you're tired. All right, next issue.
All right, come on, Paul Parker, let's go.
Next issue where I can say something dumb. Let's go.
All right. Well, like I said, another synopsis. Let me do here. I'll do the credits for Booster Gold 23. Where's the link at? There we go. All right, Booster Gold number 23. Blind Obsession from December 1987. Writer and penciler Dan Jurgens. Inker Roy Richardson, colorist Gene D'Angelo, letterer Steve Haney, and editor Barbara Kessel. So yeah, so this is the one of those weird things where it's like, yeah, it's a 2-part story, but a completely different team takes over like the second half of the story.
Yeah,
like I was surprised, like in the action day, issue, I was waiting for it to say, plot or written by John Byrne and Dan Jurgens. I'm like, it must have had some conversation, or was it just Byrne's like, I'll leave it here, go ahead, go.
Just wrap it up somehow and have it make sense.
All right, just opening the issue here on the app because I have the I'm trying to remember, this might have been the first I read this booster issue, because I have the action issue, but I don't think I don't have this booster.
I just like how when it starts, it replays some of the same panels.
Oh yeah,
but from different angles. The dialogue's the same, but it's from the opposite angles.
But yeah, I do like Dan Jurgens Superman. I like that cover.
The cover is great. What's a John Byrne and Jurgens cover?
Can we go to page 3 on the bottom left, and can you answer me what's going on with Superman's trunks? They look like they're falling apart.
Yeah. Well, all those blasts from Booster's weapon disintegrated them.
I thought maybe they were just stained or something.
I mean, it's just like in the drawing and the coloring, like it's weird.
Yeah,
maybe they were stained too.
I like in this one how we get kind of like the flashback of where Booster was and what he's doing. And then I was like, oh, Booster's wearing glasses. Is he blind? Is he Matt Murdock here? And then it really informed me with just the character that Booster was at this time. Because like most of what I'm familiar with is basically Booster, like I said, in later stuff when he appears as a secondary character, or just in the group, and then if he's in some sort of other media. That's kind of been my biggest exposure with Booster. But
yeah, that whole flashback, I mean, yeah, it does help that, like, for any of us not reading Booster Gold at this point, what was going on. But then also, I guess, if you haven't read the Action Comics issue, it's just like, oh, here's what happened. And it looked like he was at a press conference and he's battling Superman, but meanwhile, the real Booster is watching this whole thing.
Yeah, on TV, yeah. I liked that part, too. The portrayal on the television was a nice angle of how to tie everything together in the beginning.
And look, they give you an editor's note here, Adventures of Superman 427, when they're talking about Quark. So
that's because that's it's a Dan Jurgens book. So
yeah,
he knows what's up.
And you could tell. I mean, I think Dan admits he loves Superman, but I mean, he wanted to draw Superman, which he would a lot.
A lot, yes.
Because Superman keeps showing up in Booster's book. Booster's got the shirt rip going on.
He's like, hey guys, what does this make you think of?
Although from the future, I mean, shouldn't that whole thing just be nanotech? Shouldn't it just like flow on him?
You would think so, yeah.
20th century, come on.
Yeah, some type of mesh, cybernetic mesh.
So yeah, the real Booster shows up and let me rips the arms off that robot. Yes, it's a robot imposter, kids.
And it looks almost a little bit like Metallo.
I know. So yeah, when he fries them, yeah.
I thought it was Metallo. That's where we were going because, I mean, it's a robot. Okay, follow my logic. Made of metal, looks like a metal skeleton. Has kryptonite inside.
Has kryptonite, yeah. It tracks, definitely.
I mean,
I thought, oh, we're gonna get Metallo here.
That would have been a nice little tie-in, even if they had just dropped the line where, again, okay, spoilers, kids. I mean, it's Lex behind this, but it would have been just the one line where it's like, oh yeah, from studying Metallo, I was able to, maybe not create a robot or as durable, but it was similar.
A duplicate,
yeah. Okay, here's my question. I mean, the effect may have been blunted a little because the kryptonite might have been inside the robot, but I'm just like, and again, it's still early on in like post-crisis, but I'm just like, shouldn't Superman know the effects, how kryptonite makes him feel by this point?
I've recognized
like that or however he feels.
That. And then I got thinking about like how he just kept talking about he's drained and tired. And I was like, well, is it just enough that it's wakening him compared to in other incidents where like he actually has a different effect? Like he has more of a sickness to him. Like, I don't know. Like what was the robot made out of, Like
well, how many times had he been exposed to kryptonite before this? Like 3 or 4? There was Metallo in Superman #1, and there was Bloodshot with the kryptonite gun.
Yeah.
And then there was Lex with the ring.
Yes. So yes, there's at least 3 times. Yeah.
There's at least 3.
And I mean, it's not a lot.
But
I don't know. I feel like it's not a lot.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't feel pain a lot and stuff.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like immediately when you start to feel something, you automatically like, okay. But like I said, in the way they did this is compared to the other ways we saw, it seemed a little bit more toned down.
I'm feeling drained and lost bladder control. Must be clipped tonight.
If it's raining in Metropolis and there's clear skies, don't look up, kids.
Oh, jeez. But I love when the kryptonite pops out, Booster making that, that little meta comment. He's like, nice glow. A guy can make a great ring out of this stuff.
I know.
Somebody beat you to that.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Superman just let him take it. He gave him that stink eye. He gave him the side eye when he was like, "Oh, maybe I should just keep this."
Does he really?
Superman just
you really have a choice?
I'd heat vision the cannons.
Well, yeah. Let's put it this way: at least have strong words with the Justice League about it. Look, Booster Gold has a piece of kryptonite. Let's talk with him about this. You guys talk.
Let me repeat. So Booster Gold has a piece of kryptonite.
Yeah, yeah. You guys should have a serious discussion with him about this, so that I don't have to.
Yes. Please don't take
Batman somewhere like. I'm supposed to have kryptonite.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. But I was gonna say, don't take that to Justice League headquarters. You don't need that falling into the hands of Guy Gardner.
No. Absolutely not.
So he's like, oh, well, this stuff really gets to you, huh?
Yeah, he'd be making a ring out of that too.
And speaking of a ring, yes, they do reveal it's Lex behind this.
Yep.
Boy, and he's really playing into the motif this time. Like every employee in that lab there, I guess, I don't know where they running the robot or whatever. I mean, it's all women sitting in there.
With mini skirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's wearing a bright blue suit. And then he notifies Attack Dog 1.
Yeah. I was like, oh, we're going to keep going. Sweet.
Wow, I didn't know we were at the 90s yet with that name. Jeez.
I was like, well, where's Attack Dog 2 and 3 and 4?
We're not there yet. And he sent a drone. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A giant pill case.
He was wearing a green costume. Like 2 different shades of green and white.
And the big old energy staff.
Yeah.
And like some weird weapons. The dude had this gauntlet that shot a blast of compressed air that knocked Booster off of his feet. and into the wall. He had that weird little drone canister thing that scooped up the kryptonite. He had the energy staff that was powerful enough to give Superman a little bit of a tizzy, at least the first time around. I was surprised by this guy. I was like, wow, good old attack dog.
I mean, again, I mean, Lex kind of makes the point later on that that wasn't the point. But I'm like, if you really wanted to trash Superman, wouldn't you send the booster robot and this guy at the same time?
But yeah, I mean, but the whole point of this was to make Superman, like, to make Booster Gold look bad even more. Like, yeah. So even if I guess, you know, like he says, he was supposed to rip apart the suit and all that in front of the media, so it would all be revealed it was all Booster Gold stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and then the stupid attack dog one, he sends a drone to take the kryptonite away from Booster and like fly it back to Lex. Then he tries to shoot Superman. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and he should have known that energy staff would probably only give Superman a light headache at the worst.
I don't think that guy was ever supposed to succeed. Yeah. That was the whole point. Was he was supposed to just be enough that they thought he was a threat? They'd take him down, and then it would all come back and blow on Booster Gold, as you know, having somebody else.
It was like a media smear campaign. They just wanted the media that could see it all.
Well, like Lex says, he's like, or Superman says, he's like, it's kind of an obvious setup. Well, I guess so. If you know, yeah, he's Lex has kryptonite and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Lex and Booster have had business dealings, business rivals.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Lex buys his rival company and buys he buys it from Booster Gold. They outbidding for it, and then he says to move the company to the vacant building in front of Booster's home, just because. So
then this party at the end on Lex's yacht,
on the luxury liner. Yeah.
Such a star-studded event. Hold on, I have where's the list? Yes, because Bruce Willis, Sybil Shepherd, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, George Harrison, Nancy Reagan, Warren Beatty, Dustin Hoffman, and Commander Bond. They're all there.
Commander Bond.
Yes.
Jeez. And then my favorite panel is the last, where Booster is now broke.
To be continued.
Not for us.
Not for us, though.
Oh, yeah, Booster comes walking in all Don Johnson.
Yes. This was a very 1980, what was this, 87? This was a very 1987 suit that Booster Gold was rocking right here.
I love he takes Lex's date right off, and then he's like, "Oh, maybe your next android should be female."
It's not often that you can to get the one up on Lex like that. Yeah, I like that. I think that was actually my favorite part of the issue.
Yeah. So So what you guys think? I mean,
it definitely put Booster Gold in a new light and tried to play Superman like a chump.
I liked it. It was weird though, because like the Booster Gold robot was dispatched kind of easily towards the beginning.
I mean, especially when, like, you know, when once again, like, makes Booster look great because he's not affected by kryptonite, but good old Soups. They're like, we can't have Superman look too good in someone else's book.
Well,
make sure it's fighting kryptonite.
Yeah, make sure he's weakened.
Well,
and then Attack Dog 1 shows up like right after that. It seemed like there could have been maybe even another issue to this story. This could have been a 3-part story, maybe.
Maybe we're just engineered to like longer, more thought out stories than what we're getting here. Because how many times have we said like that could have been 2 issues?
That's true. We have said that a lot about these. Yeah.
And I mean, but then we read stuff now. We're like, you could have like just made that 4 issues.
Oh, totally. Or 2 even. Yeah.
Can we find a happy medium?
Yeah.
Well, I think the pacing's just weird too, because it's like, okay, one creative team you have 1 issue, different creative team you have another issue. It's like
that's true. The consistency is a little different. Yeah. But I still think it was enjoyable. It was entertaining. The issue.
Oh, it was good. It was fun. It was a nice 2-parter.
And the art was really good. I've always loved Dan Jurgens' Superman and Booster Gold. It was cool to see him draw Lex. I liked that. I liked that a lot. I'd recommend anybody that hasn't read the Booster Gold series that has a casual interest, definitely check it out. That first one is really good.
Yeah, I've read some here and there.
Some great guest appearances from other DC royalty in there as well.
Yeah, I was looking for a synopsis for Booster Gold 23, and there's some website. I guess they must be a Booster Gold website. It's like, what was it, Boosterific or something?
Oh, really? Boosterific? I love that.
Sounds like something. Sounds like something. Phil would, host.
Oh yeah,
Boosterific. Yeah, that's a very Phil title. Yeah.
Don't tell nobody. He's like, shh, don't know.
Don't tell Lilith.
It's a secret side project.
Exactly.
What did you think of this one, Phil?
I mean, I liked it. I like Booster Gold. Like I said, I only read a few issues of this 80s Booster Gold series. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it because I know I did, because it always makes me, when I enjoy something, I'm like, I want to read more of this series.
Yeah, I definitely recommend you check that out. At least read like maybe the first 12 issues. Check out the first year and see what you think. Yeah.
It's a little it's a little different from like where he was, like even in like the later on in the 90s, 2000s.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, boys. Anything else on these?
I think we just about covered it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was a quick. It was basically just one story. It was 2 issues, but it was one story. Yeah.
I appreciated that. Like, it made it more of a fulfilling read.
Yes. Well,
definitely.
Well,
it wasn't too complicated.
Yes. Well, don't get used to that, because
he's like, well, Tyler, now that you're happy, prepare for more.
Yes, no. When we come back next month for more Electric Mullet, yes, next episode we'll do Superman number 12. Adventures of Superman 435 and Action Comics 595. So yeah, one of each. So oh yes, the action. Oh, the action, or no, not the action. Superman number 12. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of a flashback when one of Superman's former lovers.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah.
Now we're getting excited.
Talking about a brunette.
Yes. And I think the Action Comics issue is one of my favorites because it's Silver Banshee, right?
I think so. One? Yeah.
It is.
I love that one. Yeah.
Silver Banshee. I read a really cool Silver Banshee story that I didn't know existed. I found it's actually a 2-part Silver Banshee story. It's actually Superman at Halloween, and we reviewed it in October for our Halloween episode. It's on the app, and it's just called Superman Silver Banshee. And
I think I have that too. I think that wasn't that Dan Brereton that did that? Maybe. I can't remember.
But yeah, we'll get a few Silver Banshees in this era. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Silver Banshee. She's one of my favorite Superman nemesis.
Nemesi.
Yeah, Nemesi. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, kids. All right. So yes, once again, Superman 12, Adventures of Superman 435, and Action 595 next time. Email us, CapesandLunatics at gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise, and of course the Patreon. So yes, join us over there, because yes, the Patreon and Lilith Hellfire are
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right, so find it all in one place. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. It's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right, Mr. Tyler Patrick, if people want to know more about Superman, what other podcasts should they be listening to?
Well, they can plug into the wonderful world of the Krypton Report. That's right. The best Superman podcast there is. Maybe. But hey, come chat with me and James as we talk Superman and all things DC.
You mean Mr. James Cole?
Yeah, who was gonna join us tonight. He was gonna surprise everyone, but then he messed up.
Nice.
He wasn't feeling too great, and I was like, I get it. I had a rough day too. I was like sitting there chilling. And Jania's like, "What time's your podcast?" I'm like, "Oh snap, I gotta go."
I thought Mr. James Cole was down at Booster Gold's gym.
Oh, probably.
Nice, nicely done, Phil.
Why? Thank you.
I'm tired of knowing everything.
All right. The new king of podcasting, Mr. Justin the Owl. You can hear him here twice a month on Electric Mullet. You can hear him every week on, either Marvel Tales or X-Men Classics with me talking something Marvel. I can hear him once a month on shows such as We Are the Night,
the Batman podcast.
Talking Azrael with me and Russell, or Energon Universe, where me, him, and Russell, talk the new Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff. So find all of that here, but this man does more podcasting. So Justin, where else can they catch you?
You can also find me and Russell over at Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where 3 times a month we talk about the Incredible Hulk and the Sensational She-Hulk. We also have a Patreon, so do check that out. And Russell and I are joined by the High Priest of Khonshu, Ray, for Predator and Prey, the Yucha podcast, where we are reviewing the new Marvel comics that cover the Predator, as well as the classic Dark Horse comic books. And once a month, Russell and I do Gone the Form of Man, the Etrigan podcast, where we're covering Jack Kirby's classic DC Demon series from the 70s in its entirety. And last but not least, the Lost Library of Legends, my solo project, is still going. And by the time this episode comes out, I will have a spotlight in 2 parts on an Impact Comics title from 1991 called The Jaguar.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch. Love it.
It's pretty funny. No,
I'm going to eat this up with a fork and spoon. One way. This good town.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Again, back to 3 Superman issues next time. After 2 nightly newses, we'll be back with more Superman 12, Special Superman 435, and Action Comics 595 with the Silver Banshee's first appearance.
Yeah. I can't wait for that.
bring on the Banshee.
That's right. She's going to scream your face off.
Ugh.
And I'm trying to remember, that action might have yet another appearance by the Batman, right?
I think it does, yeah.
Everyone's wanted to do. All right, kids, come back next time. Remember, going after truth, justice, and the Mullet way.
The Mullet way.
Remember, keep it gold.
Nothing gold.